Welcome back. We got a Witness doubleheader for you. They're taking on TLR in this second game in what could be a very, very important game for playoffs, or it could be a roll. We'll have to wait and see. I'm Dave, joined by Antimation behind the camera, and Dumtum alongside me. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're not having to wait much time at all here right now. Like you said, doubleheader, Witness Gaming doesn't get much of a break. They had the chance maybe to win a little faster, but took a little bit too long to win in the end. Still, confident win for them. Match 1 against the likes of Woods Angels. What chances TLR stand against them? Who still are currently on 4th, but it's a shaky lead as there's still one more game to Ghana against the wheelchair later down the line. As we had in the first mid fight, explosive start for them on the side of Witness, looking to not even bother dropping any points on that.
Yeah, Pappy just commits in. They tried to get aggressive on the point there, TLR, but they paid for it. They lost their medic, and Witness can just sit back. In fact, what is going to go forward? There is a soldier in behind. It's Matters. He's cleaned up. There's 2 scouts now running in. Corey and Flick is still in position, but he doesn't have too much health. Gets 1 shot down onto auto, but they're taking him out. So it is going to be, at the end of the day, a clean mid-fight victory here for Witness, and they look to move on. They have more in the bank ready for them.
All looking good. Do not get caught by surprise by any sticky traps on the second point. Claim that one as well. Big advantage into last. Needs to be able to convert these, and taking space on that already, using fairly early right coming their way to the fighting in the end, but get everyone forced to spawn, and then isolated from the rest of the team, being very annoying. But Heavy gets out for free in the meantime, and they still can't get the demo kill or the spawn by, and just saves their life a little bit right down. The damage is just not good enough in the end.
Puppy's in position, but it's still in it here. Thomas, Flick is so low, but does able to clean up Thomas with the help of Zams. They just about survived there. It looked, I mean, it wasn't the greatest push by Witness. I didn't really like how Puppy didn't shoot the stickers on the point, so they had everyone pinned back. They had some damage down on the Heavy, but didn't have any caps on. So at the end of the day, pushes like that, not quite going to work. Witness probably come again soon, but firstly they have to deal with TLR having this uber advantage. Already taken second, they're looking to move into mid. They're actually going through the underpass area and looking to push in here.
Yeah, this is really just a grand finale for TLR. They could claim players for this. They might not even have to win necessarily, although the chances are tremendous if they win anything at all. And it's been obviously the narrative for the season was rough start into getting better by the end of it, but they managed something out of this one. It's just a huge miracle for them. And really just a good showcase of their improvement by all the looks of it right now. They're hanging on for dear life and dragged back by backup a little bit, but those bombs are not enough in the end. Just the hanging on to life once again. Picking up the many beam for them for the end of the season, it looks like. Looking fine so far, but a lot tougher than last week. It's going to be a rough look for them so far into this middle point. They take the chance, so getting the damage to the auto. They want this fight much more than Witness might have wanted to in the end. However, they also don't really want to use so late, a little bit far back, and might not really get rewarded with their chance to chase much in the end. Also, is just barely able to get caught. They almost manages to still get out alive, but medic down is huge for them. It's already on the point. They have all the position they need here, and can maybe just claim some more on the second round.
Yeah, we know how much Thomas likes to go in with these aggressive solo Uber trades, and he does get damage down. Got a lot down, pinch down onto Justy. But at the end of the day, they didn't end up having a position to leave. Thomas has gone in again, trying to go for a play, probably onto the medic once more, but it's not going to work out. There's 3 buff players in front of them to deal with. And that is actually a good Uber advantage here for Justy. It's like 40-odd%. They're building it decently as well, so they will probably have an opportunity here to push last with this advantage. Gonna have to deal with a Thomas who's come up on sniping out. Ixie is on the engineer. It's got a very deep sentry gun. Sticky's on point as well for them to navigate.
That's running away from them here, but the chance is still there. Gotta take it while you have it. Everyone back at spawn, trying to get someone on point in the meantime. Get themselves plenty capping while they can. It's just enough already. No over chasing anyone. They're already in spawn. Don't need to do much more than that.
There you go. Difference between the 2 teams. TLR take the round because they're able to play the cap time immediately. And as we talked about, that sentry gun so deep in the spawn is good at kind of denying that space in front of that spawn door, but not very good at shooting the point, and that's all they needed to do there, TLR. And this would be a turn up for the Bucks. Great start from them.
Yeah, maybe they earned their way, being 1 point ahead of Woods Angels as they are right now. They just had the advantage. This is a great showcase they needed here. Show what they're capable of this season. far off from over quite yet though. He's so weak from the get-go. They do find sort of behind. Can't even quite find the kill yet, but needs to be much more worried. There's no follow-up coming through. The knife Harvey is a while. That the bombs out of the quite for the time being, but Silver will come back eventually. And would this health give enough? Yeah.
So he's still in behind, but he doesn't have too much health to deal with. Zams actually gets taken out. Silver's able to take out Ryan as he comes back into the action. That's going to allow Domo to plough forward. Yes, he's still very, very weak, taking a lot of damage on that mid-fight, and Tomas is on the chase. He is aware of the damage done onto that medic. Domo's still pressuring in as well. The transitional speed from Witness is a sight to behold, but it looks like they've settled down for now. They do have Ixie back, capping up mid as everyone else comes to second here.
I mean, you gotta be able to do this quick, right? Otherwise, you just miss out on so many otherwise usable opportunities if you just let them at escape. This time around, you see, just fortunately enough, got out just early enough to get away with it. Like you said, Witness does not like letting anything like that go to waste. Problem is now, it didn't quite work out either way. Then we have to setting with a stand on last, and I mean, we've seen them be able to crack these just now a couple of minutes ago against US Angels, of course. Doesn't mean it's easy, and especially not on Metalworks. We've seen many reports about this last 2 weeks, about how much people enjoy that time over here. This time, a nice little airshot there as well, brought to you by the sentry gun. Presented on the silver platter. What really matters though, to flank by Maps, I think, right now. Comes up behind, unaware. It's everyone here, it looks like, and just not quite enough. And the scout before the medic can't quite get that one going. That's what really mattered here. Everyone still reeling from getting airshot there, basically, as a team. Can't quite convert from that. Still, what does it take for Witness to break this last? So this is notoriously difficult for a lot of people.
Going in for a bomb again. Ixie sneaks in behind, but he's taken a rocket. He is going to be cleaned up. Not even able to get a lick of damage onto Yusty, so the defense will hold for now. They've lost 2 players for it. They're going to peek Flick out a little bit. There's not too many people peeking with him. He's got a ton of space in the lobby area, actually. With those 2 players, it does open stuff up for him, but there's always kind of that window area on the second point that you can just infinitely hide behind, even when you're a couple of players down, so Witness are probably not going to lose anything to the sniper.
Alright, what is the next chance here? Trying to peek some from the right side, can't get much from that just yet. Now you have to peek against that sniper as well. Actually, swapped off temporarily, just by checking, making sure no funny business is going on, but last match, as a whole, 2 maps, we didn't see them off class on last once, I think, and looks like they're not trying to break that trend just yet, at least. Only off class on last, they want to use this as a good opportunity to practice breaking these teammates. It's going to be important one way or another eventually. Now that just means seeing if the Soldiers can sneak anything away on overextending players that do sort on the flank, not overextending at all, and covered assets going back to the field immediately by the sniper. I think with a nice shot, by some steps basically can peek a little bit more aggressive, but they didn't push with 2 down as well. And I feel like as plan B to everything they're doing into last, Witness does have the option to just force mistakes on second as well. The Tila is not trying to play into just yet.
Yeah, I mean, a single pick is going to be difficult to make stuff work at all, and already they've got that spawn up here. Witness, they are back into lobby. They can hear that Flick is still on the sniper. He's going to back up, find a different angle. He's going to try and run, but losing Domo and losing into the centre again. There's both soldiers. It's a big hit. It's a 4-man sack. They do get a couple of frags for it. Might just buy a little bit of time for Witness, buy enough of a kind of pressure on their opposition that they won't be pushing out here. But yeah, really brave stuff committing 4 men.
Yeah, but look at that. It's like before 2 of the 3 last ones come in, Witness is already up again with 4 people, and just comes the sack. It's only the right call to not go in the end, but doesn't mean they didn't cover anything. Flick is hitting shots right now. Crucial ones at that. Domo goes down, stops from taking position, doesn't stop Ixie on the outside from still trying, but Witness is just, I feel like at this point they're very much just playing into the plan B, into the option that they will push into us and just mess up big time. We're waiting for them on second. So many things just happening, and like Ixie wouldn't go in, but already down 2 otherwise, right? Like, this has to be the strategy right now.
The spawn on Domo is so fast. You'd think they'd be able to push out of it, but they kill the demo man. They go back into the lobby area. They get that frag onto Still. Nice snipe from Flick. But by the time he's even hit that headshot, Domo's already spawned. He's pretty much back to fight second, so they can't even push out of 3 picks.
Well, unfortunately, the multi-match conditioning isn't working. They did not just once last map, they did not just first opportunity in this match either, but they switched immediately to Spy this time around, and Flake is still checking. They're making sure they're not surprised, and he's catches spam rockets immediately on entry. Tough time getting in anywhere, they're very well aware the Spy is here. Has he ate that rocket or not? Goes for the sap, that was bomb coming through. That's partly going in a high, and then squad looking to find anything they can in the meantime, but enough in the end. The shots are coming out. Ixie actually the one in the end to get the kill, but in the meantime they sent 2 for the medic and 1 kill onto Zamp. I don't think they're for that.
Domo was in a risky area as well. Auto kind of committed quite deep, but Domo will survive for now. Both soldiers were in the air bombing towards him, but they do survive. They do have another opportunity, but only 20 seconds left before a round reset.
They're just in again. They're not wasting any time. I guess they don't have anything left to lose in this one anymore. No more down. You've got to pass the pass that gets back before we get back to spawn towards make the most of that solo. But as you mentioned, but it's coming up closer with solo coming in late here. Poppy in from the flank. Tries and wanted to cap and they're running the most right now. It's not enough just yet. They have overtime, but they got it without the other. The health Thomas is so weak. Domo will spawn as well, but I don't know if he's making it in time.
Yeah, they still have cap time, so it's going to extend the round longer, but Thomas also in a world of pain. Spawners coming in. Domo has spawned again. I mean, Domo died so many times on their attempts, their sack attempts, their tries to push into last there. He's probably died more than anyone else on the server so far, but they aren't going to make it happen, and we go to a round reset. Tiller still 1-0 in the lead here.
I don't know who's smarter here. Witness just throwing people to last for the last 3 minutes to force them to make a decision about pushing out, or TLR for just refusing to give in the urge to feed and just staying on last, playing the safe way, I suppose. Not explosive at all, but I guess if the mid fight starts like this, who cares what you're doing on last? Get immediately rewarded. That would not right away. This one as well, though. Not just for this victory just yet. We have it on point. Absolutely some good damage to the choreo of the cleanup as well. Any position on high ground just doesn't matter. Devilman can shoot from low ground so easily.
Oh, but Thomas is still healthy. He has to deal with Zams and he has to deal with Flick, but Flick can't even get to that health back. And now it's a 1v1. Nice pipe from Zams onto Thomas. Is it going to be enough? Surely not. He's taken down to 4 HP. Looking for one desperate last pipe, but the pistol is going to come out, going to clean up Zams. It's probably just about going to be a mid-fight victory for Witness.
Not a shabby effort, but like I said last map as well, this is maybe not exactly what they would like to see for playoffs. You know, just huge competent wins would be maybe not good practice necessarily. I guess maybe this is still some work in the end. Thomas doesn't back off the fight, but maybe not the motivation I guess you'd want to see here before playoffs, I suppose, though. I guess we'll see how it goes in the end. I mean, they're still down for now. Can't really forget about that just yet. Still are not winning quite now. Still a long ways to go, however. Don't take this for granted to a tiny disadvantage, but they know they need to spend sooner or later. Bombs coming through. You're so far back though, so finds a bit of space, but it looks like they don't have the chance to really take any of it.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Dusty's play so far in this game. He's been aware when the sack attempts are coming in. He's always been in position, always been nice and deep, and been able to price it on. Nice shot from Mathis onto Thomas, just completely dunks him. He's back in the respawn queue for a few extra seconds. Zams was taken out just before that though, so losing it. Demoman does give opportunity now for Pappy to try and launch himself in, but he doesn't get too much distance. He is going to just jump back out there, try and keep himself alive, try and recycle. Witness stacking up hard in the valley area. Bombs once more in by Sil. They're pressuring in Ixie and Domo, going quite deep, but again, Wiston's fighting very, very decently. They lose Talentus. They do get the foresight. It's actually going to be a trade because Domo was so far forward, but decent position here by Wiz in the host situation.
Keeping this up on point quite nicely, even with players down, keeping position exactly as intended. Gets them this point right now. Still on spawn. No, I think he's just working off for the forward spawn, yeah. Oh, never mind. Wait, we're going with it actually. I was just about to say, does not have a bind to just forward spawn. No, he's just sticking with the spy in this situation. I guess fair enough. It's going to be even with a stalemate. And they tried desperately to make this work as it worked on Sunshine last map for them here against US Angels. The old-fashioned way, breaking the stalemate with just the same classes you'd like to see for the rest of the game now. The off-casters are coming out today. Metalworks seems to be forcing their hand a little bit. Maybe TLR does some heavy lifting for that as well. No one noticed still decloaking there. What? 3 people were looking at him. Okay, they realize now what happened. Away from the bomb.
Dobo's standing on the point. Ryan's jumping in. The forced out onto Corey on the engineer. Still. He's sapping the sentry gunner's back in spawn. Not the most useful sap in the world, but there's going to be enough of a distraction. There's going to be enough presence there from Witness to equalise this up.
He still did no damage and he still carried the last push so hard. Everyone was... I was about to say, how did no one notice? But the time they noticed, by the time they realized, it was already too late. The bombs were coming, they turned around. It doesn't matter if you have the back turn to inspire the rest of the team. Someone's going to come in and get in uncontested onto your combo. And this time around, the soldiers getting in massive damage, gets them a huge advantage for the rest of the fight. And even if nothing else, the Spy still has the chance to just surprise people at the end. So all working out quite nicely for Witness. Tide is right up for the halfway point of the match.
Oh, it's a mirror image of that first move. You can see immediately going down to the soldiers, but the difference here is everyone else on TLR just rolled forward, just completely stomped Witness in that valley area. They got absolutely destroyed, they're absolutely overwhelmed, and TLR are going to win the mid-fight and probably have a lot of presence on second. Zam's already setting up stickies, there's already that soldier, that is Mathers going forward, looking to catch maybe a respawner out. But yeah, Zam's already has these stickies ready for second.
Yeah, so definitely going to see a bit of angry chatter between the Witness players after these maps tonight, because these mid-fights, both games, leave a lot to be desired today. This being, Xtraf and TLR coming out swinging for this one. Just have the bad hand on situation on the mid-fight right now. Witness still brought it back a long way around before, so can't come out quite yet. Not like they have great uber advantage to TLR at least, so they don't have to worry too much about a huge hard push, but still have to worry in the end. The mid-fight's not working out. TLR the ones on the good position for the time being, but you can see that this is like barely 20 ad they had and willing to risk much of this. I mean, that should be surprising, right? Especially with how they looked on their own last of as well.
Very deep at the moment, only now starting to put some people towards the alley area, but they're in onto auto though. Mathis going very deep, and a nice hold, nice milk there from auto, going down to 40. Definitely would have died to another splash rocket, but will survive. Happy though is looking for something. He's looking for an opening with these 3 picks that Witness managed to claim, but everyone's just going to have to back out. They're going to, retain the Uber, going to recycle back to second, but going to have to give up mid-fight, the midpoint here for it, and Witness. They smell blood, they want more.
Yeah, easy conversion. Got to keep the ball rolling here a little bit. Don't really have player to go for, but that doesn't stop them. Air from McCarthy also don't care. We're still going in deep as much as we can, and with this many people in at once, someone's gonna crack. That's gonna be the force right there. Domo Sticky's just about saving from Blix Uber running out, but they just also push in right away. They see him close at the lower door, try to just pull the trigger early instead of wasting too much time. It's not the worst decision in the end. It's get to the point. It's effectively just a much better exchange, and with the players. Oh, wait a second. Oh. No, Thomas is timing out.
Was that a timeout? That looked like a taunt to me.
Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't with TV. I couldn't see what he was doing. I just saw him stop in the middle of the doorway. But it was 2 down. You could like keep playing for them too, alright?
Oh, you could if your scout isn't taunting and dying to a rocket. You can maybe make it.
Yeah.
He got very close there. He had to sort of directly up in the air. Had to dodge a potential air shot coming in as well. Just survive for now. They are going to be stuck at last though. Not the situation TLR would have wanted when they had that mid control just a moment ago, but we're seeing it's been difficult for Witness to break it. They had a full 5 minutes before, weren't able to crack it. They are probably aware of how deep TLR like to play this, but we might see opportunities to maybe get picks in the more kind of forward players, because they're not going to have those aggressive heals.
Okay, losing some to the trap as well, but that doesn't stop them. Didn't stop them second, trying their best to get in. The last rocket doesn't quite connect. There was 3 weak people in front of the soldier, but still can't quite find the follow-up in the end. And once again, we've seen this before, they like destroying people in class at the moment. At very least before the spike comes out, this seems to be the number one thing to do, but it might not work out as intended, as they don't have anything to sack them. Like, they dared to make a choice to push out on odd, and looks like TLR said, whatever, I guess we're just going to push out this time, and this is probably the worst time for Witness to see TLR do it, because it just works.
Yeah, they've been baited with like a demo and scout pick. They've been baited with 3 picks before. This time it's 4 picks that they had. And everyone's just kind of jumping, soldiers going around in circles. Now still, Lantern, you see, nearly hits the shot. Yes, he's very, very low. Just anyone following up is having to hide behind the pipes. Scouts go down in front of him as well. Not too many players alive at TLR. He needs to run, needs to get a health back. Still no health back. Spawning as one of his players has taken it just in front of him. Oh, just about survived for now. There wasn't anyone to follow up on the immense amount of damage that had been done onto that medic.
Terrifying too. Auto even was involved, flying arrows into that and hits Flick instead of the medic in the end. Will cost him a good opportunity here on Witness, missing out on that one. And I mean, more or less they just chose for this one, right? If you're willing to sack 4 people, you need to be, I guess, maybe just more comfortable on second than on last at that point, right? He kind of opted for this position in the game. See what the bombs can do. They got close before, not close enough, however. Once again, soldiers flying by, the scouts trying to take position with this one. It's not all coming together though. The soldiers do not find it in them to go deep for the medic, who is simply heavily protected, of course, as well. In front of him, the sticky trap not making it easy, either denying the fang as well, but using Zams in the meantime.
Yeah, he got headshot by a rocket, just popped him up in place and ends up Pipe follows up, takes him out. Thomas is so far forward here with a decent amount of health. Does take a rocket. Ryan's going in, trying to actually forces out Auto. That's a decent force, but they're going to be able to chase down Mathis. Zams has gone down in the meantime. It's an Uber out from TLR in the meantime as well, but it's not going to be one that finds any frags, and they are going to have to run back to their own last.
Yeah, they wanted to get out, but they got flanked in the end with Solantis, who got a really, really bad Uber out of them for the force. That they just couldn't chase them so far back. They were early cap as well. Witness destroys itself at the point right away, forces the heads a little bit, but they don't have enough explosive damage on the cap itself to really capitalize on this big time. Doesn't matter, they don't have it at all though. Domo might be in here late. Too late for the point, but not late enough to still get some big pipes in. Claims 2 of that, but suddenly the numbers are as well as small. They're getting in, they're not waiting for these borders as well, trying to just get this wrapped up early. Pipe on the soldier already hitting. There's the bomb coming through past, and then went onto the medic right away. Get themselves advantage for the rest of the fight here and just force this into the longest last push we've ever seen, but looks like they will have to come around and push in the end.
They're still going, they still have a decent amount of cap time. 2 scouts running in with the beam. They're going to take out Corey. Flick is going to kill Ixie and Thomas, though, taking both of his opposing scouts out. That's going to stop the push for now, but Auto has been able to survive through all of that, so they do have an uber advantage for the recycle here.
I think Witness was just a little bit disconnected, but he wanted to play for ad or for, you know, the point win immediately, and going for the Mad Bomb there kind of guaranteed they can play ad, but then they still double down on playing for the point in the end. It was kind of strange on the priorities there, but they didn't want to choose the Devilman, they wanted the medic. It still works out in some ways at least. If not for Rude Awakening by the end of this one, they need to be quick. Those quick tricks lurking in the back.
Through the left side, Thomas doesn't have anyone really to target. There's still a little sentry gun, which is level 1, but now they're crunching in, they're fully encircled the blue players. There's only really Mathis on that point. Flick is trying to run back into block, he stands on it for a second, but it's not enough. Witness are going to claim that second round and take the lead and potentially a comeback here.
Yeah, they tried as they might on TLA, they tried to run away from the super, but they weren't in spawn. Yeah, they can still catch up with you. I think even Auto got involved with the Disorder in the end, trying desperately to just get them cornered, get them stuck, and get the damage rolling when it's needed. Worked out in the end. Aggressive Uber doing all it has to do. Witness finally in the lead, not really back in the lead, they haven't really been winning from the get-go, but they've finally made themselves be having the power position in the game. That, however, still quite difficult to go well. Continue that position. That's really not been the case too much just yet. Aggressive chase by Flake doesn't get enough of it just yet. Puts him in a really strange spot.
It's a decent rotation actually from Witness, just playing a blob around Auto, playing forward actually. Happy's in behind players as well. Thomas is just going to run in, claim the kill onto Zams, claim the kill onto Matthews. That's 3 on the mid fight, and everyone that was behind briefly for them is now taken out, and they can look to plow forward. 3 spawns up here for TLR, but Witness have a large uber advantage, and it's going to be moving into last soon.
Yeah, Flick kind of forced the luck on them there a little bit, with the aggressive push the scout had from under, kind of just incentivized him to rotate away from him, and like you said, rotation worked out brilliantly from them in the end, protecting the medic all the way to the last point. Still have his last running into this point now. From last, a bit disconnected. Scout doesn't have to be there running into the gun. but same idea as before. They want to get stuck in the corner a little bit right now. Damage is a little bit worse than before, but he's still coming to get some crucial kills. But we're all trading them, and the cap time just wasn't good enough in the meantime.
Yeah, Mathers came in with a big lead, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's running in, he's going to have to 1v1 him. There's Domo as well alive with a sliver of health. He's going to claim the frag and walk onto the point, and 5 health is all you need to win a round.
Yeah, that push was noticeably worse, but the same idea as before, right? Coming left, rotate wherever they're going in this case. The same corner again, just the second of the scout being disconnected from Beam, took a while to get the flashback going. The damage was a little bit worse in the corner. But despite all that, the Fury is all sound enough to bring this one to a victorious end for Witness, just barely. In the end, takes the 3-1 lead now. Looks like they're taking some momentum in this game. However, that's requires a good fight once again. He's going well. Starting to get back, going down early for Ryan. We've seen this before. Can they make a better end of it this time around? With Papi behind, you'd think they have something to play off. It doesn't look like it. They find him first, sort of down on both of them actually. So Swan's is caught right away, and once again, early demo there. Make Witness just have to take some decisions that they're not really willing to make, it looks like.
It's actually an arrow onto Thomas is going to mean they're not even going to fight second anymore here, Witness. It looks like it should be easy enough for TLR to take it, although like, threatening the trade here. Witness getting the stickies on the doorway. There's not too much, there's not actually any cap time coming in thus far. He's sneaked in behind, he's going to try and bamboozle Zams here, does take him out, but he goes down as well, and Witness are still somehow taking the fight, still somehow winning this just off that big explode.
Uber comes out really late from USD as well. Also will get in eventually, but probably knowing fully well they will have good advantage after all this said and done, because there's no chance to escape from this. They are way too close to them to have anywhere to run or hide. With 4 minutes left, Witness finds themselves once again in a prime position to control the pace of the game. Will fights be good or not, doesn't matter. The rest of the game is looking really in their control at this point right now. With the advantage from here, all looking up in the world. Holds one for Ixie as well. Keep momentum up. Heal's not even up on second yet, mind you. We have someone forward spawn still waiting. Its map is not on off class, just on soldier, but doesn't really matter so much. You're so close to people if they are on point that you can maybe just get a quick kill out of this one. That, however, requires very close to you, and I don't think that Auto is going to go that direction just now. Looks like call gets made now. We're just going back to last. We need to hold this thing. This is still in the realm of possibility. We need to just be able to defend this once.
Good awareness there on Witness game. It's part of like when the medic was spawned, the fact he'd only just spawned, they wouldn't have had the heals, and they were able to take it easily for free, and now they have an Uber to really push last. Taking it through the left onto Thomas and Domo takes a while for them to even get in. They do take out the sentry gun, but now the soldiers Pappy and Santas are jumping in. They get those 3 frags, and surely it'll be enough to clean up, but Kritzkrieg is out. It's on to Ryan, takes out Sil. Domo taken out with a flash as well. So the Kritzkrieg, a great swap out from Justy, and it's going to save the round for now.
Yeah, we've seen these like old school Lego crits from them a couple times last week as well. And it's always this gamble that you will survive the Uber enough that you will get this Kritzkrieg, but also you will have anything alive. It's like such a fine margin where it actually matters to have that thing in the end. But sometimes it just makes a difference in a fight that's just close enough to winnable that it could make all the difference in the world. And they swap up pretty quickly, which sounds like a good idea, but they don't have this advantage right now. Not like it matters. Immediately lower, just find them trying to rotate in, immediately regret the decision, try to leave again. And after trying to just go back and forth in the lower area, just immediately getting picked apart on that one. And there you go.
Yeah,
one mistake is all it takes.
Just tried to catch out their opponents. They knew the time was against them. They just had to try and bust out through the low ground. And it was, not a great strategy, but they were relying on the element of surprise. Witness gaming way too canny for that. They easily win that fight, easily win the round, and now it's probably GG.
Certainly looks like it. Well, TLR could still win another mid fight. Where's the fast bomb to Domo this time around? That Ryan tried, but he beat the last the job there in the end, actually. Unfortunate timing. To say that, I guess, but Zans was a big one there as well. If the air pipe puts the mat on the silver flat on the right as well, just goes to town for the last little bit of the game, has locks a little bit. Can feel better about yourself here, but I don't know. I think the only thing that really makes this all worth it in the end is if they get some points tonight.
Yep, I mean they can take a lot of pride from this map, to be honest. They pushed Witness and were in the lead for large parts of it as well. And their mid-fights are good as well. It's another mid-fight that they're going to claim. And
Okay, well, I guess maybe you're right, but at the same time, I guess the narrative might also be exactly the opposite, that the mid-fights are just kind of bad voters today, across both games. Not to discredit either of the teams we've seen tonight play against them, I guess, but it's been true in both cases so far, so... Where does the problem really lie?
don't know, they're actually currently playing 5v6, still popping off on Sniper. They claim second here, so maybe a attempt from Ryan. Thinks about going for the back cap, Still's continuing to pop off. Don't know in the Batman spot.
Can someone submit any of this from Solantis' POV for the TLR frag movie?
Yeah, you the frag movie where you hit epic headshots, and then just if you look in the kill feed in the top right, there'll be like a medic melee kill, like a fist kill from the heavy. Be like,
you can edit that out. One has to know. Oh, I guess they get another one. We know what happened.
It's probably more fair, like closer to a fair result, to be honest. 2-4. Witness Gaming claiming the map, claiming 3 points, and at least stopping the TLR march, stopping the playoff chances. They'll have one more map to make a show of it, or maybe they'll be relying on a favour coming their way Friday.
Yeah, 3 more points to get whenever Papi comes back, I guess. Would be very awkward to play 3 maps and then you suddenly need a monk.
Yeah, he did time out. Thought he'd rage quit. I thought it was the BM kind of leave because the game was already over. Perhaps, but no, he
There's
did.
one more to go.
Yeah, they got another map to go. He did time out, so hopefully he'll be back. Probably the best time to have a timeout, so we didn't actually have to have a pause. But I guess we can look at some numbers.
I mean, this was like a weirdly close game for quite a while, right? It's the strangest part about this. It took so long to really get going. By the time they got going, it looked good, I guess, but the beginning was just like rough mid-fight into a slow stalemate. They, much more than Sunshine or Snakewater for that matter, really had trouble dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, Corey, like, really popping off this game. 30 frags, top frags. When you've got the players of the caliber that there is witness to get top frags against them is impressive stuff. I'd say maybe part of it is the fact there are a lot of sack attempts from Witness into last. I guess he's got 8 engineer frags. Maybe that's maybe I overstated how well he played. Maybe his sentry gun did most of the work, to be honest.
Yeah, but he had to put that thing down, which makes him have all the decision in that process.
Yeah, he still went 22 for 11 on scout, so
that's not bad.
Decent showing overall, and definitely some positive moments there.
The law also confirmed that Zam's nickname today isn't just TLR #horny, which is good to know.
No,
that's what it's at 90% of the game.
#horny goat drinks, which is so much more wholesome.
Well, standard, I guess. Well, that's one map out of the equation. We still have one more to go. I think they're waiting for Papi before they change maps as well, which is not because he's the server owner, actually. I know that much. However, the second map is Granary. Once again, a map we've seen Witness play once or twice this season as well. Curious to see how they do here, and one where bad mid-fights can also end pretty badly very quickly. And with the fast bomb they have been going, Otto's gotta watch the skies tonight.
Yeah, I'd probably say it might come down to more how they have Yusti play on the mid-fights for TLR's point of view, because that was kind of the only thing that was going well for Witness on these mid-fights. They did have several where they were able to kill the enemy medic Yusti very quickly by just bombing directly onto him. Didn't really slow TLR down much. They won, I think it was the 3rd mid-fight, by just letting their medic die into steamrolling Witness. On Granary, it's not quite as close quarters. Not quite able to just run at the opposition. They're able to kite it probably a little bit easier. But yeah, certainly soldier bombs are going to be impactful as they always are on Granary.
It's going to be curious to see the skies for this one. Ryan had a pretty good game. After had a pretty good game, all things considered, despite the scoreline in the end. So can't take that for granted at all. I'm switching the map now. So we get started shortly. I don't know if Poppy actually reconnected before they changed the map, but we'll see. Also, I was incorrect. It's actually Zam's server, so I guess he just forgot that it's his one.
Yeah, I did see Pappy had rejoined, so hopefully it won't be too long before we go.
Oh, I see what it was. I looked at the chat and Zam said, I can't change map. And then 10 seconds later, he figured out his own server password. Beautiful. You love to see it. This is the quality we're here for and from.
Guess while we're waiting, Dum, can you run us through the games that are coming up the next 2 days?
Yes, we have a couple of games still left to decide the rest of the season. Tomorrow is at 2. Currently only one scheduled to be streamed, but we'll see if I can pull some strings for the second one as well. The one you will definitely see on stream is Amandam against Hubert's Angels. We just saw them try to do their best against Witness. They didn't manage to get anything much in the end. I think they got one round total, 5-1-4, 4-1, 5-0 or something like that. They need a map win badly, especially after this just now keeps them in this, right? As long as TLR doesn't get anything, the minimum required for Hubert's Angels to make playoffs stays a map. Second game, 4 fence against Wheelchair, which Wheelchair still has the tiny chance of getting 2 map wins tomorrow, and then 2 more against Garda on Friday, what's the last game. And they could still make it, however, all Garda has to do is get like literally anything in that game as well. They are currently 1 behind Hubert's Angels and 2 behind TLR in 6th place themselves, which is to say they win a map, get 3 points, they're 4th, assuming everything goes to plan, and first and second seed Mandem and Witness do not choke anything, which it's been a bit of a struggle for Witness just now, but it's been successful every time so far. So the chances for both Wheelchair as well as Garda are still very much there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably say Mandem are probably the favourites. Sorry, not Mandem. Mandem are the favourites, obviously, for that match. But Garda, are probably the favourites to make that 4th playoff spot.
They have the lowest seeded team of any other team with playoff chances, other than, I guess, Wheelchair themselves, who still have to win 4 maps total to even be in the conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, relying on TLR not getting points here tonight. I mean, I guess if TLR got 3 points here,
it would still be doable, but then you can't choke anything at all. This gives them if Witness keeps playing, as good as it looked at the best of times last map, that gives Garda a huge margin for error.
Yeah, I would say, from what I've seen this season, TLR seem to have been improving over the course of the season, and if anything, Garda have probably been getting weaker, so I could definitely see
it's kind of messed up, because I remember Garda versus Witness, and that game lasted 40 minutes total between 2 maps, and then you watch these 2 teams fighting for any points to stay relevant for playoffs, having very competitive matches, right? Garda might still just run away with it, with the much worse cross-comparison matchup, because they just were actually winning games against each other, before the other guys just tied.
Yeah, they got the early doors games before everyone had kind of warmed up, everyone had got used to their roster, and
also they had Josh sub, which that's might be a small part of it in the end, but that's a pretty good sub.
I mean, the fact that they're in contention for playoffs with having to play with so many subs and mercs, and everyone being on holiday at various parts of this season is quite impressive, you have to say.
That's just the Garda quality, So eventually it just works out. And this might be the season again to sneak in there just about. It's all looking fairly good for them, I guess. Let me actually scroll up here down. So yeah, that's all I'm getting at here right now. For what it's worth, Division 1 might have some of its players at least be streamed. That's played on different weeks. I believe the Premiership is. And that one's a race to the finish as well. I think 3 seats have been decided last week, but the 4th one is was up for grabs until yesterday, when one team gave a default win and it just decided it by themselves. Which is a bit of an unfortunate ending, but I think playoffs will be a bang anyway in Division 1 as well. So many good games to come, not just in Prem, but also in Division 1. Should be very fun times to come here. I don't remember who's actually in playoffs right now, but it will be some banger matches, I think. And then who knows what's happening in the other divisions. The Nightmare Zone, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the competition goes, everything's doable. First place choose first, but they lost 2 maps. So can't take anything for granted down there. And then don't even start on Div 3. Div 3 isn't real. I don't know what's happening down there. It's a mess.
Div 3's never been real. That's always been a fake division.
That's just the nightmare zone, I guess. Who knows what's going down on going over down there? Anything's possible. That's weird to see also that Div 2 is not the split division this time, but Div 4 instead. It doesn't sit right with my brain, but you know, I guess it's fair enough. Just weird to see 4 teams make Div 2 playoffs, especially when this season, like, 4 teams in Div 2 are so much better than the other 4. So it's not even like much of contention to get like playoffs right now. It's just 4 teams to easily get it, I guess. But they will have good games against each other, though. That's definitely just for sure. That's the minimum, I guess, you want to see as well.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we've probably talked enough about Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Probably get back to tonight's game, TLR versus Witness. We did see, of course, Witness just about coming through that first map. Took them a while to get going, despite the fact they'd played an official immediately beforehand. Somehow still weren't warmed up. I don't know, like, I'd say if these were like more impactful games for Witness, would maybe be talking about, you know, will fatigue come in? You know, not an ideal scenario, probably having to play 2 officials back to back on a game, but at the end of the day, I don't really think there's too much meaning. Even if they drop points here, I believe they're still comfortably second, and I think there's
Yes.
it's very unlikely that they would be in a race for first now. With Mandem would have to check pretty hard, right?
I don't think it's possible anymore anyway. Like, Witness can win all they want as long as Mandem isn't losing more than 1 match worth of points. They can't get at, because they wouldn't have to have Diploid. So, like, Mandem would have to have lost something leading up to this point for it to make a difference if whatever happens tomorrow. Now they can choke all they want tomorrow, and like they still have to win Titan points, and they just take it first. So currently they're always coming on top, get the first seed, get the map pick advantage in winners finals, which we're doing Scuff double element again, the I think objectively best way to do TF2 playoffs that we currently have, which is to say, imagine double elimination playoffs, and then just move round 1, and that's where we're at. So first 2 seeds to go immediately to winners finals. 3rd and 4th play losers semis right away to stay in survival for the rest of this one. I don't know what they're doing on the server right now. Showing off each other's favorite taunts. But luckily for us, they won't be doing that for much longer. The game will start in just a minute's time. As Zams is T-posing all over them. Which, I don't know, your opponent started T-posing on you on pregame. Do you have a chance? Is it over?
Seeing Ryan. Ryan's in the server, but he's on the wrong team currently. He's I don't know if he's trialing for Witness here. Decided to join the red team. But yeah, everyone's just throwing out taunts right now. Had enough air shots in this pre-game, but hopefully they'll be getting going shortly.
Yeah, don't worry, they will be starting. Granary is the map. Might be some Granary, but I don't know how good these teams are on it. I mean, we've seen Witness like once or twice. I don't remember if I've seen TLR on it. If we have, it's been too long for me to remember of anything. Very curious to see. We've been talking about the Soldier duo on blue as well. Very curious to see what they can put on the board for us tonight. Maybe Witness just pulls themselves together. Maybe this is where the mid-fight starts going well for once. They had, you know, an hour and a half about to figure things out from here, really. 2 hours almost, actually, at this point. So they had plenty of time to get these mid-fights figured out. Granary, I guess, very different than the other maps in that regard, but still, you got to be able to convert these.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we talk about it not being very impactful in terms of the result, but this is almost like another scrim, another opportunity here for Witness to practice before the gameplay.
Yeah, fresh start for them on Granary. They are 3 maps deep now. Won all 3 of them in the big Witness Gaming Gauntlet. The Wednesday Witness Gaming Gauntlet. And with that, 1 more left to go. They need to win Granary to get themselves a cozy, comfortable 2nd place seed into playoffs. TLR still in 4th right now, regardless of if they win or lose right now. But there are sharks waiting for them behind them the next 2 days that want to catch up, and very much can. They need to build a lead that's bigger than 1 point. These fights need to be game changers for them here, and they start training soldiers. Not very convincing moment for now, and you get that moment caught off guard as well. Ixie behind, keeps up his wild, completely pins them perfectly, and finish it all up from here. However, what you can do, I can do better. Corey sneaks up behind just as well as Ixie did. Same for Panic right away. Auto still goes down in the end. Wasn't really the soldiers dictating this. It's the demo jump into scout follow-up that really just decided this whole thing.
Yeah, everyone was looking up at the skies, expecting nuclear holocaust to land on top of them, but it's just those big scout flanks were the ones that ended up proving the vital difference. And yeah, Yossi calls out the nice flank that you can see, completely surprising. Nice two-shot as well. I don't know exactly how aware he was. Maybe it's a little bit easier than if you've got that medic dodging it in front of you, but either way, he's able to claim it. And Witness have control of yard here. They're looking to pressure in basically even Ubers. Not going to be anything really to work with. Definitely better heals and buffs or Witness at the moment. Everyone's playing quite passive. Back, it's not too much spam at all coming out, not too much peeking. Now Happy starting to pressure in through the Z area, but Domo wants to walk on the point, but he's probably going to be in for a world of hurt. Rockets and pipes and stickies, everything coming his way, but it's a decent amount of cap time for his troubles.
Ah, still close to Medic, can't quite follow up on that one. Doesn't manage to get the kill. Still trying to work as much as he can, but XC's weak, they don't really have flank presence anymore, so just what's happening on point. That's all they really have left to play around, and it's looking like that might not be enough. Just keep this locked at the camp in the meantime. They're really trying on that one though. There's spam coming through less, or maybe Soda down. And they might just be enough. TLR gives in. They're not willing to fight that.
Yeah, they're just aware of how passive TLR were playing and just relying heavily on spam. Eventually the cap time is enough, but now Pappy is in. Launches Yossi in the air into a wall shot. Doesn't get the foresight. Yossi does hold on down to self-40 health, but now still is in. Yossi's going to force out. Domo is going to go down. Zam's both demos going down within a split second of one another, but Auto has kept himself out of the action, kept his Uber alive, and now they have an advantage to push last with.
Not bad, not bad. It's starting already to look like Witness is warmed up for this team a little bit. It happens every so often with these top-level teams, and it's just one map later, it's just looking a whole lot better. It did map 1, I guess. But not to worry, there's still a lot to play here. Maybe they can salvage something on this one, but it's not looking great. Gun forced back, but these soldiers on top are trying to play the high ground for whatever they can. It's going to be difficult here. The damage comes to double bombs, double push across the point. Also forcing them on cap that a little bit, but just lost their medical support here. It's so outnumbered. Lack of heals won't change much in the end. Also, well in his right to play the point that you get the rest of the team to clean up for him.
Yeah, Zams did a good job there, like wiggling away from the incoming soldier bombs and the incoming threats, but he ended up in a situation where he didn't do enough damage in the hold and ended up just opening that 1v3 scenario, and never going to work out too well for him. Witness take the first round here, and now moving into another mid-fight.
Yeah, looking a lot better on Granary already. Once again, different approach from the Domo and the high ground versus low ground between Domo and Zams. 4-6 around, nothing too tremendous coming out of it just yet damage-wise. One coming through by Ryan. They're trying to play the long game here as well, but it looks like it's kind of backfiring quite a bit. Domo just combine the damage early while they have one bomb just circling around. The other soldier just waiting on the flank. Nothing's happening with the flank. The combo already has done the damage for Witness before they really can adjust their strategy. At least claim some kills in the end. Make this close effort here, but look at that, Domo and Thomas. Do not fear 3 players with a combined 150 health. All too much in the end, and it looks like TLR also wait a second. How are we gonna kill these guys? And just dipped for the time being. Rough look there in the end. Witness, yeah, like I said, warming up a little bit here throughout the maps.
I thought for a second there was going to be that TLR steamroller coming in once more. The coordinated aggression was impressive. They just went on the dot immediately, but it's well kited, well bunkered down by Witness, just playing around their own choke, and you know, with no flanking threat, very easy. But Tomas is on the chase, already in deep through the left-hand side. Zams is having to jump in the air to avoid it, and they ended up not getting too much with that Uber. Only really the kind of positional presence on second. That's about all Witness get, and they'll just have to set back up here with a big Uber advantage for TLR to come. But you know, they have been kind of reticent to push too much, to take too many risks when they have been on their own last, so we'll see if they even really make an attempt with the ad.
Yeah, Sam's on that excellent escape, the classic, where the scouts were trying to shoot his stick, he's actually jumped away. Managed to jump early enough. Early force, speaking of wind, coming through from the upper area as well. Same Dixie right away, sounds good. Have something behind as well. Who is so far behind he can't get out again, but he sure can cause some commotion in the meantime here with that going down. No one's on point anymore. Witness wants to fight back with the soldier up top as they're trying to play this from over the point. Decent damage coming by Papi does help trade out 2 kills in the end, and that might just be good enough actually.
Yeah, I thought Papi had kind of shot his shot too early there. He wasn't seen for quite a while, but the crucial thing he did, he dropped down, turned some heads, allowed everyone to play forward. Thomas now has the Uber out on the point. This is going to be Pop running in, eating a banana on the catboard, delays for a little bit, but goes down for his trouble. Zams is cleaned up as well. Don't think there's enough players. There's Corey timing out again. I don't know if that was an attempt to get a bit of scored or not. It's definitely very illegal, but it's not going to make a difference either way. Witness here are going to get another round.
Yeah, Corey, the Secret 6 member of the DK crew, can't change much about this in the end. Will still lose the round. 2-0 for Witness in much less time than previous map. Looking really good so far. Midfight's included in that one. Able to control pace of the game here quite nicely. There's a pause coming through as well. Now, someone timed out, so you might be wondering what the pause was for. And the answer is, I don't know. Because they didn't say the words pause before they did it. Which technically is against the rules. I don't know if anyone cares enough to report that, I guess. I certainly won't. I don't care enough, but someone should get a wider warning for this in if anyone here is an ARC, Chad. Just you know, letting you know.
So do we know who timed out? Or if
no, I have no idea. They just paused without saying anything. So I have no idea. I don't think a minor warning would change anything either.
I can't imagine either of these teams would be doing a tactical pause at this point, right?
I don't know. It's.
I mean, I guess maybe TLR could still be in with the game, in with a chance. And maybe if they win this mid fight, they push Witness back to last. Maybe they take a tactical pause to talk through their advantage push.
Just make sure no one rage quits because they lost something real quick. You never know. But not been a lot of these this season, but I'm sure we'll see the tactical pauses coming through in playoffs the second something goes bad, right? That's why they always happen, when it really matters. Everyone's going to take all the time in the world they have. And mind you, I've heard some chatter from the admins, or between people and the admins, that the pause will need to be reclarified a little bit, that you in fact cannot legally pause for 405 minutes. Or if you can or not, because it's a little bit weirdly worded in the rules page.
Well, thankfully this pause isn't 5 minutes. It's going to be mercifully short. Domo is going to look to get aggressive across the point immediately, but Zams is nice and healthy. Bombs. Seal is doing his best. Actually claims Ryan and Matt has taken out both of his opposing soldiers, and it's a world of hurt here for Zams. You'll see the only man alive. So probably should be kill binding. At this point there's 6 players on the chase. Happy is trying to run him down. Seal is still going. He's still alive here, Steve, but surely it's actually going into drop zone.
I'm starting to think I know why the pause happened. And we might be watching at the reason, looking at the reason why. Currently. Because, first of all, yikes on the mid-fight, but also, what is going on?
It's, a little bit of trolling is happening right now.
Well,
Mainly
this
from the
looks
TL
like
guys.
a pretty easy one right now, just going straight to the last, can you down, and
Moving it easily through the left side. They haven't got too much purchase though on the last point. There's still a heavy weapons guy with the Tomislav just firing bullet after bullet fully across the point. Is a menace to deal with. Now the bombs are coming in. Zil is immediately blown up, but Tomas gets a beautiful arrow onto him. Long range from Auto is going to go right back up to full health. Still in the fight, and despite what looked like a disastrous entry, they are going to claim the round their Witness, and there, I guess, was the tactical pause?
The anti-rage quit pause, I think, was also on the side of TLR. Chad, I hate to be embarrassed with bad news, but it's over. If they come back with us, I'm wrong, I'm gonna, like, eat a Yu-Gi-Oh card or something, I don't know. But I don't see this happening. Witness is looking firmly in control right now of the whole thing. Mid-fight included, and that's been really the struggling point so far, right? Now this is looking good as well, and the rest of it clean sweep from here. At this stage, mid-fight needs to be huge for TLR. The pause was there, definitely time to think things through a little bit. So what will be the change now?
So landing on Yusti, pops him up, doesn't hit there, shot though. He'll go down. Yusti's still quite weak. They're trying to move over through the left hand side. They pin Domo down. Ryan is still going forward, doesn't have the most health. But look how many picks they've got. 3 cleanly picks. Everyone, oh no, Tomas is somehow just running in the backlines. I've taken my eyes off him for a second, he gets 2 kills.
Alright, not bad, not bad. They're putting up a fight. Still plenty of time to do it. 20 minutes is a lot of time. However, Otto lives, and that's really a huge breaking point right now. This is good news, but maybe it's not good enough, because momentum's just dying down at the second point. If that, I mean, Witness is rolling back up to yard, and it looks like they're beating him to the punch.
Yeah, they're looking to try and hold here. Pappy going quite deep still. They're looking to fit some others, but he gets a nice shot onto Sill. It's a trade at the end of the day, but not too bad a scenario. Domo is taken out with a pipe from Zams from that garage area as well. Thomas has to back out there, gets his medic back in order, just fighting it back to giving up a lot of space, having to give up yard, having to go back to second. They could still trade if they wanted to, but they don't want to be in the scenario with no Domo man.
Alright, flank comes aggressive on there as well. Ryan walks over Solantis, gets himself behind, trying to react quick, but can't really find anything immediately here. So have to worry so much about the player behind, doing tremendous damage to them. Thomas really weak out of this as well. In the meantime, Papi decides offense is the best defense, pushes through Lunchbox, gets the kill in the end, but the bleeding number is pretty bad. You don't eat, Samson on point, there's no sticky, they just decide to pull the trigger on him. Use a very early Uber charge, in comparison to what usually might or might not have used in the end. Thomas kind of decides to have the forces as well, but can't get there in the end. Papi behind will finally do it. Causes them in a pretty bad position as well, all things considered, but it's still people down at the end, and it's still good news for TLR.
Yeah, it's a good flank from Pappy to get the foresight. He's going to be the only casualty for that force. Flick runs in, gets immediately just deleted out of the world by Domo. They're not happening for him. Yusti is taken out as well. Corey wants to make something happen, but it's very, very easy for Auto just to walk himself out. Mathis, though, in position, gets 2 rockets down to Auto, but they aren't clean enough. He is going to survive with enough health and get that health back. Now they're looking to move into mid here, Witness.
Very unfortunate for Zams. Had the sticky door the shutter door stickied up, trying to just deny them from getting in, but didn't even kill the one scout peeking in the end. And they claim Domo with the bombs on point, and they're cycling in so much damage onto the cap. Splitting apart Witness a little bit here. Everyone's kind of weak, have a scout behind as well, just forcing the hands deciding between blocking the backup or not. They just decided with this help not worth fighting, falling back here with this guy before it's too late. Get that kill, get the Uber. Yusti doesn't have it as well, but they're using so early, almost 2 weeks, to really hold on for much longer. And in the end, TLR kind of gets what they want here. It's not the backup, it's not the full collapse of mid that it was all being threatened, but it all amounts to enough pressure to force the Uber just fine.
Yeah, I don't even think there was any real spam coming in towards that choke, but Auto and Pappy were both so low coming into that midpoint that they just had to pop it. He didn't fancy his chances, didn't want to risk dropping there. Which is maybe the right decision at the end of the day. Not going to take too many risks when you're already 3-0 up. Don't need to really throw the hand of Sill's going to get caught. It's going to be a trade out for Corey, not the end of the world for either side. Ryan, though, might be able to find Ixie. No, they want Pappy actually changing the targets midway, but that's going to be enough for TLR to muscle the way back into mid, and yeah, they needed that really. They need to got some kind of stabilization. They've got some kind of security back into this game, but they need more if they're going to launch this comeback.
Still have map control a little bit here. Mid fight won't have to resume here again. They are in control to middle, so have that much going for them. Usually the better position to make plays from, but I mean it's easy. And they haven't been really in this position just now. They've been really just backwards so far. Let's see how this mid works out for them here. Bombs come through quite early. Ryan and Map perform together. Try to get something going, but it's not enough in the end. Both can out pretty quickly. At least the Scout Demo Amalgamation walking at the same time gets some good damage. Flick once more as well. Just runs over Domo in the meantime, gets himself behind. In fact, all of them kind of want to. Just the combo's a little too late, and by that point, with this rotated back around, forces to fight on them in a pretty awkward position here. With a much worse Uber mind, it doesn't matter that down. Their Uber charge just lasts so much longer. And result is still with back in the corner. The counter bombs are coming through, getting some good damage. Flick doing all he can to fight just now. Hit some good shots here. Yeah, going in the backup. Wolfric is covering them a little bit here, forces everyone back, and in the meantime, still getting a couple of kills as well. Down to Thomas Truck as well at the tail end of that one. Causing a lot of mayhem, and maybe too much for Witness to at least escape unscathed from. That said, still escaping in the end, right? Otto might have died in all of this, of course. And he might be back last. But they don't have good advantage from here in TLR.
Yeah, they don't have too much to show, which is a small ad, but they do have a lot of position just on the back cap play. I did think for a second there was an opportunity for Flick and Corey both to commit to the back cap. Maybe they would have even been able to both go into last and had a better chance of winning that fight overall, but Flick decided to go back to take the trade. They did get auto, both of the medics going down, and obviously the back cap did come in. They did get the forward spawns. Now they're in the opponent's yard. Still though, in the back lines, big on 4 players in front of him. Can't find the rockets. He's cleaned up. He's down to 3 health. Oh, they picked him just for a second, but weren't able to take him out. He will just about survive, living a very, very charmed life here.
That's really good news, all things considered. And look at that, they're missing out as well. Taking the second chance of life as far as they can, just get the Eva involved right away. And try to get this one going, sort of behind Ryan. Got them decent value before. This time around, cut off a little early on the attempt to flank around with that. Witness better numbers out of this exchange. It was half maybe, but plenty time to change that very early. And Celentis might be going for a funny one. Is getting 2 drop down. No one's looking for him yet. I mean, they're missing someone there, but the scout takes the place. Corey turns around for that in time. Houston once again so weak. It takes Thomas to clean up, but they have the scout in the right position.
Yeah, he had to surf forward and both the scouts peeked out through that shutter, but now there's 3 TLR players that are hungry maybe to go in for auto. They're dillying, they're dallying, they're getting a bit of cap time. Ryan's jumping up top, they're threatening the play. They've actually claimed the cap points, so Witness are going to be stuck on their last despite the uber advantage. And Sams has a nice little debt onto Thomas here, maybe opening things up for the sack play.
So that when we've been in the flip side here before, Witness forcing people to decide if they want to push out last or not, and that's just last map even. Now it's them with the chance to get out of here. Everyone's alive, they have you bad. To just threaten this one for Dilla still puts up a bit of resistance, but how much can you really dare at this point to really put into the second point? If you don't have something going quick, you probably don't have anything at all. Let them cap this point, get out the last. I mean, there's still plenty of time technically, but it's been 7 minutes flying by that Dilla just couldn't convert anything with yet.
Oh, Sams gets caught in the choke. The pipe from Domo is enough to take it over the edge, and Mathis is claimed as well. 2 going down. Despite the Ubers equalising here, Corey's taken out as well. It's just dominoes falling at the moment for TLR. They do have that Uber up. Yusti's forced and he's juggled in the air. Flick wanted to go forward, wanted to chase him, wanted to take the trade. Ryan's launched up as well, isn't able to survive. Just everything going wrong. Still, it's a merciful casualty for Witness, but I don't think that's going to stop them rolling too much. Happy is he's going to get taken out. Actually, nice rocket from Mathis on the fade away. They want to continue to fight Scrappy, but they're continuing to apply pressure. TLR looking to continue to press these.
Alright, Dilla coming on top, just barely. Devilman spawning up again. Yeah, player for a couple seconds at least into yard should they choose to do so, but that's not going to last much longer because once again they're not holding back at all. They're just trying to do as much as they can as early as they can, and none of it is working in the end. Completely fall apart on their attempt to just play aggressively into the midpoint they're late. And with that, Dilla in prime position to get around.
Yeah, absolutely no defensive position for Witness there. They got caught on their heels. Not all the stickies. Oh, he didn't get though, Domo. Had a brief opportunity to maybe get something, but not going to happen this time. And now Uber is already up the SC. They're walking in. They haven't had to use yet. And now it comes out. The soldier still has been able to force it out. It hasn't even been played, but the Uber is going all the way deep into the right spawn. Going to take out that heavy weapons guy, Ixie. They haven't got too much to show for it here though, TLR. Mathis is juggled in the air. He's destroyed as well. And that's probably going to be the push over. Thomas wants to plow forward. He senses blood. He gets Corey. He's still forward. Still is up there with him now. He's going to take out Sams. And it's just falling apart for TLR.
I think watching Thomas Chaser is the first time I watched someone switch to pistol and I wasn't upset at it because it just worked. The pistol shots all hit on people that were weak enough to die to it. It all works together. It wasn't alone, most notably it was. All comes together quite nicely, and suddenly the prime opportunity for TLR wasted, and we're going back across the map. Witness Gaming in the power position, getting through mid into yard, and looks like there won't be much over there either. That's going straight to the second point, and if there's not much resistance here yet, then looking dire. Force one sniper, rare to see put a value. No one really pushing that way on advantage. rush pushes like this anymore. But the flank player, he might still catch out by surprise. He's still going down to that. Thomas dropped the lever as well, and it's all falling apart the second it starts.
Big play by Ryan, just absolutely shutting down that entry, doing so much damage down to auto. He just had to pop. But Corey just kind of, I think he's waiting for an arrow, but just sat AFK in a corner. He's clean up by Doma. They've got the second cap back here. TLR, they have, I mean, it's not really much add to work with. It's less than 20% here. It's going to be difficult for them to make it work. They have been able to bust into this area now, looking to continue to press forward, but with both their soldiers out of action, I don't know if they'll even be able to hold onto Yard here.
So Thomas still causing mayhem in the back. There are too many people who are looking for him at the same time that he can get away with it. However, will get taken down. Not to worry. Alright, Witness back in a power position now though, after such a good chance wasted for TLR on their last. We're back where we started. Witness free up, enemy forced back, not quite on last yet maybe, but not much better right now, being stuck inside of second I suppose. Having to see one way out of here and make it count. And that might involve Witness also messing up with Granary second after all. It's not easy to quite get out of here in the end. Everyone's sitting back, so Ripple from high ground, spamming down the cap. We've seen Witness here before, they like to just play the point as much as they can, and they did it without really much of any flank presence before as well. So with flank presence still active right now, I'm sure they will take all the chances to stack cap them as much as they can, but Domo going down causes major problems. He's still barely surviving the fight on the flank, so at least the numbers are even after all of it, but that doesn't last very long. He has such a long way to go back to safety. Cannot escape. Flick caught in the meantime, we're just trading one for one over and over and over. Flank is all blue territory for the time being, but it looks like with not much on a combo, they don't want to dare too big fighting on two ends when they barely have all together on one.
Yeah, they're looking to continue to apply cap pressure here. Witness, they're not scared of the down and they're not scared of the stickies. But Zums is just pumping out onto the point. They've got it about 90% capped, and they're really just continuing to hold W just enough. They're baiting it enough. They actually get the cap down by just rocking back and forth on top of it. And it's not going to be that important at the moment. They can still put this hold. They're going to be a little bit of back and forth here as we settle down. But TLR, they've stabilised themselves. They've got themselves back in this game. With 8 minutes left, they're going to need something soon.
Yeah, and so far Wood is still dictating the pace, taking the overshot into them instead. Harpy trying to bully through the flank, and both of them weak, can't kill any of them. Solent is too weak to follow up either. So an attempt to play from the back with the soldiers not quite coming together. They're getting good position on point zone. The player's down, it's kind of strange, but it's all coming together late here in the end. Zams uses demo, Flick laid back from the flank as we have another pause. This time around, I know what's happening here as well. It's Domo timing out in about a couple minutes time, I guess. Whenever it's happening for real. We'll see in a moment, but at some point, very shortly, Domo will disappear. And I guess for Witness's sake, we can only hope it's not within the next few seconds, because that would be very awkward.
And I guess the question is it at 3-0 still, or is it at 4-0? Because this is an opportunity. So, well, there was a lot of damage down onto most of the TLR guys. I think they're probably going to be able to stabilize here. Pop is on the beam. Both the soldiers are...
I've seen Witness push off left though, right? Exactly, the combo is really weak. It really would require the soldiers to nuke them though if they want to come in here. If Ryan and Mathis get the call early enough to just jump Shudder, and I think one of them's already on it as well, and do good damage there, then it's certainly just fine for the blue side. But if that next jump by Ryan doesn't get immediate value, it's kind of rough. Because he has to come in and block that if they make a move. Because no one else can. Like, Mathis obviously will probably as well, but he's going to be a little late, and Corey is just too weak to really try much just yet. Will take an arrow and some beam time to really get back into the fight. Might have to dare fight early. Cutting it close with heals.
Yeah, a team like Witness, such an impressive team with such a great reputation and all the achievements they have. You expect their comms to be on point. You expect them to know that Yusti is the one who has had most of the damage done down to him. I guess Corey as well. But they'll know that Medic is potentially an opportunity for them to go in for a play to clean him up, and they know he's probably going to be looking to play back towards that spawn area. But as you say, Solenta's that one soldier would be the ideal, guy to throw in. They'd want one of their soldiers going in deep here, and this would be a very different scenario. As it is, Sil's very weak. He's already back in kitchen kind of area, not really in a position to go for a sack. Maybe they could throw one of their scouts, and maybe even Domo could bomb, but I think it's going to be difficult to really make it work as a play into the medic.
We'll see anytime will tame, but it looks like Domo's connection is having some struggles right now, otherwise he would be back already. Don't think they want to play the last, like, barely, like, 8 minutes or whatever it was, with the Merc, especially replacing a player of quality like Domo as well, would be very awkward. So I'm sure they're just trying their hardest to make Domo's connection work again, but I have not seen a reconnect attempt yet. So that's not really making me too confident it's gonna be a quick one just now. I guess time will tell here really, but it's a lot of time wasted already trying to get the man back in. There we go. Someone's joining. It's not Domo. I'm not spoiling, but we may see a different player joining very shortly.
Who is a sub for Witness? They got some pretty powerful subs, right?
Well, I can already tell you're looking at the wrong players.
It's not a sub, it's a Merc.
No, it's full Merc, yeah.
Interesting. But either way, we do have that Unpause come in and Witness, they want to press this. Athens jumps in, actually gets Doma before cleaning up himself. This is in the corner though, the 2 scouts are running forward. He's in Thomas on the hunt now. They walk back towards the cap point. Ryan is able to block it briefly, but it's not going to be enough. The overwhelming force of Witness comes in, and as we suggested it might be, we are up at the 4-0 mark.
Yeah, match point now. Witness gets one more round. It is all over. There's enough time to get the ball for TLR, but it's a tall order to make happen right now. Now, as you may also be able to see, Domo hasn't disconnected yet, which means it might happen during the mid fight, which would be very funny, if not very unfortunate as well, whenever DC comes to play just now. They're gonna make the most of it here as we go into maybe the last mid fight. That's taking a bit of a beating. Sodas, Corey up top, 5 minutes, follow-up thinkings, all hitting. Domo's making the most out of the last second we know he has left in this game.
Yeah, Mathis wanted to desperately go in for something, but gets one rocket down and immediately just shot down by Thomas. Zams is surely going to get caught as well. Decent little surf away, but doesn't get himself to safety. He's still caught on the flank here on 5 HP. Silentes is going to clean him up. Now it's going to be Demoman down there, already capping in second, and I guess this must have been where the pause came in, because this is an opportunity here for Witness to end this game.
Yeah, it's all coming down to this. Let's see what they can do with this one. Justice is gonna get do it though. They don't have to take us down just yet, but spawn is soon and do a 97. It's not there at all. Never mind. He kept the medic just before the beam is ready. Jumping into the last point. Are they doubling down on this, or are we just waiting for respawns? No, that's down with him and trying to make it work here. Get damage point early. No cap them just yet. Not so far forward on this version of the map. No cap them until really late. Still hurts quite a bit here in the end. Can't get much of this one, and running out of steam very much already.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen for now. So I guess they don't need this extra round. They just buy themselves a little bit of time here, but yeah, Sil's going to get claimed as well on the flank. So 6-8 cap already on second point. They you see spawn on the crit streak actually, so they're going to have significant crits add here, but they are going to need to really get a shift on if they're going to come back into this game here.
Yeah, it might be crits ad, but it's also crits ad, so you take the good with the bad there. You really have to land these shots, and out of this point on middle really makes it easy. There's so much in the way so many times, right? If you want to go for the snipe, they might have time to react still as well, dodge away a little bit. That one's cutting it close maybe, but it's just, I think it's a really tough point to make this happen with. Oh, the cat's out of the bag.
Sam's just trying. It doesn't see too many targets in front of him. Just shoots a sticky here, there, and everywhere. Ends up just putting traps up at the end of the day, but most of that is very well kited by Witness, and Auto's already up at 90%, looking to take the fight back in. Not too much cap time in for TLR. They might be in for a world of hurt. They must know that Auto's close. Looking to go forward. Zams is going to get caught out in the choke point once more. Thomas with double pistol kill in that fight, and they still have that uber advantage to plow forward.
right? All they're trying to rotate on them as well. And at this point, desperate measures have to come out to do anything, but it's not looking good. The only one getting any kills is Flick all the way on the middle point. Xyz all aware of that. Just keeps patrolling the area. The point time is there. Trying to force the handsy bombs across by Mathis. Well, can't even force Auto out in the end. And it looks like, despite all of that, are just barely still beating out the force, the spawn block, whatever. The block on the cap, just barely. The backup, not enough. Puck on the Merc Devilman coming in the second to just round out the last few minutes of the game. Got a whole 2 points. But that is an official plate under ETF2L rules that he has a W on his name for. So, you know what? Not bad. We take those.
Beautiful stuff. Big impact player.
Really carried that one home at the end.
Massive play. But yeah, Witness just looking pretty dominant on this map. There was kind of one long, extended back and forth tug of war round. But beyond that, yeah, Witness vastly superior. TLR still in with a shout of playoffs. They're going to need, I guess, Wheelchair to do them a favour on Friday. They're still in the fourth spot, so maybe it's still a possibility, but certainly improved a lot over the course of the season.
Yeah, Wheelchair needs to be good, but not too good. They need to beat Garda, but they cannot be beating 4 fence as well, or else we have some troubles on TLR. This is a very, very thin ice that they're on right now for playoffs. In the end, like you said, Witness, I mean, I guess it's getting there, right? The good looked a lot better as both maps went on tonight, I will say. Having watched both matches, I suppose, the improvement was noticeable. The struggling points, I'm sure they will get to. This is the kind of people that will just nail down exactly what went wrong in these situations, and there are also enough mistakes that they have plenty to talk about, and enough talent on the roster to figure things out as well from there. So very curious to see what will happen in playoffs, but we know for sure we will see them in playoffs, and we will most certainly see them in winners finals. Whenever playoffs starts, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but the moment playoffs comes around, they will play winners finals rematch against Mandem right away to get the grand finals winners side seed.
Yeah, that would definitely be a game to check out, but there's more games to check out this week as well.
Yeah, plenty to come, or at least one game tomorrow. Maybe we get coverage up for both, definitely. We talked about the Mandem. I guess the last look before playoffs for them against a team that still has some last hope for playoffs as well against Hubert's Angels, and on Friday, obviously, Garda against Wheelchair, which might not be all that important for Wheelchair at that point. They have obviously the game tomorrow against Offense as well. That might already kill all chances of playoffs if they don't win at least one map. However, it is a large chance for Garda, and they only need to win a map, and then they're in the clear.
Yep, so check us out then, here on TFTV. Back tomorrow and Friday as well.
Yeah. When is the Highlander Cup starting for you on Kurzcast, actually? I don't remember if it's this weekend or next weekend, but that's coming up as well.
This weekend. We might cover it.
Exciting new maps, such as the same maps as last season. I believe something like that.
Eruption as well.
Ooh, wait, I don't know that one. Ooh, now I'm excited, actually. Well, I mean, you already had me at Steels in there, so that's fun. I don't think Valve Steel's going to make it, but maybe people like some of the changes that we force people's hands to put it in the custom community version. Who knows? At least the one funny doorway I can see catch people's fancy, I guess. So yeah, more TF2 to come, both 6 on Highlander coming up soon, and we'll catch you next time.